Welcome to Small Talk, where each week we sit down to discuss the sermon-based small group questions at Wallula Christian Church.
Hello and welcome back to Wallula's weekly podcast, Small Talk. My name is Zach Boland, student pastor here at Wallula Christian Church, and I am joined by Craig Archer, our worship pastor, and Lance Kaufman, our lead pastor. We are back in the book of James in our Satisfied series, and today we are looking at James chapter 5. The title is Be Generous. We're looking at money, talking about money. Is it okay to have? How much is too much? All that good stuff. We're gonna solve all the problems and nail it down. Maybe not exactly that, but we will be talking about big ideas like that. And so before we do that, we're going to get into the question. And speaking of money, most of us get our money from the jobs that we work. And so the question is, what was the first job that you ever had that was outside of the home? So the one that you actually got paid for, like you went and you had a boss and all that. What was your first job?
My first job was at the McPherson Water Park, and my title was support staff.
Okay. What is that?
Which means...
it means whatever they tell you to do?
A little bit. So, like, I would go in before it opens to do, like, clean up, like, empty trash cans, reset all the chairs, like, blow up inner tubes, like that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And then during the actual operating hours, we were stationed at, like, the slides and inner tubes and, like, the splash park for, like, the little kids. And it's kind of just like it was like a lifeguard light. It wasn't, you weren't like on the stand, like watching water, but we also, like, I had to do like the lifeguard training things anyways. Mm-hmm. So.
Did you have a whistle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That makes it somewhat official.
I had one of those Fox 40 lifeguard whistles.
I don't know what that is.
They're really loud.
Oh, okay. So you weren't a lifeguard, but they would have you be support lifeguard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was a thing. So you never got your own stand to sit in?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was on top of the slide. I feel like that was like that was cool.
Did you come close to saving anyone?
No. Oh. No cool stories.
Did you ever get to use the whistle?
Oh, all the time.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It was a good summer job.
I was never. Yeah. Was it just one summer?
No, I did it.
Was there also a lifeguard on top of the slide?
No.
Just you?
Mm-hmm.
You were the lifeguard.
Did the lifeguards get paid more? I'm trying to fish out the injustice
Probably.
Yeah, why didn't you? Did you apply for lifeguard and they're like, you could be support staff?
Did you not get it? Was it like...
Maybe I was lazy. It was easier to be support staff. Mm-hmm. Lifeguards had extra training to get like certified and do stuff. Mm-hmm. There's more pressure on them. Mm-hmm. I remember like during the operating hours.
I would imagine so.
There's more pressure on them.
Well, like I remember.
Like, could you opt out of saving a life and they
I don't
couldn't?
Wanna,
well, I would help, but I'm at the top of this slide.
I guess there was more expectation on them because I remember like during operating hours, we had like teams of the like shifts and stuff, and so the team leaders, they would like have a schedule of like things they would do to like keep up on trainings for people, the lifeguards. And like during operating hours, they would throw in this black brick and it would just sink to the bottom.
Okay.
And so the lifeguards would have to like go down and get it.
Right.
And if they didn't, I don't know. You get reamed. I don't know, but like, but it was just stuff like that, and I would just be hanging out.
That could have been a child.
Exactly. That's what they would say.
Sort of thing, yeah.
But I'm just at the top of the slide, like
chilling.
Wasn't me.
You're right. I don't have to get that. Did you have red swim trunks?
No, they were blue.
Blue.
The water park colors were yellow and blue.
The lifeguards wore blue too, though.
Yeah.
They were blue swim trunks.
I think Schlitterbahn was blue. I think that's what they...
I still have my McPherson Water Park swim trunks.
Really?
Yeah. Still fit into them?
The elastic is a little
loose.
Deteriorated.
Yeah. It might not be safe to wear.
Is that if you go swimming, or is that what you wear?
No.
So it's just for nostalgia, just to have?
I turned them into like...
my kids will have... Avon will wear these.
Yeah, I'm going to pass them down. No.
It's so weird.
I turned them into like my...
I think swimsuits would be a weird thing to pass down.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be very strange.
Make it into a quilt. That's what people do with t-shirts.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
Of all your swim gear. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what you do with old swimsuits.
Throw them away.
Yeah, well, that's what
Same.
I would think. So why are you keeping it?
Same to talk about in this story.
Yeah, you should have brought
My
them.
first job, not quite a
Oh, man,
lifeguard.
You
should've.
just went home. You went home for lunch right before this. Could have put them right here on the table.
That's right.
And showed it.
That's awesome.
Well, it says, what was the first job? I was telling you guys earlier, I'm like, I have like, let me think about different ways to answer this. Dairy Queen. It was
Right.
start and stop. It was my sophomore year. Marlene was, she and
Marlene
Mike.
Reese-Grave.
Marlene Reese-Grave. So Marlene
Shout out.
Reese back then was, she and Mike owned the Dairy Queen. And back then they were going to Wallula. So a lot of Wallula kids working at Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was easy, I was always like more nervous anyway, but back then
Say
I
it
was
was
like
easy job.
easy to get in.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad. I
Oh.
stopped halfway to go
Yeah.
back to say
Yeah.
it would be kind of
They knew
intimidating.
you were trustworthy.
Right. As a
and-
16-year-old,
Yes.
you're like, I have to go apply, and
Right.
it can be intimidating, but it's
Right.
someone from church. So it was easy to get in because so many other people had, and they're like, oh, yeah, we know you. So got trained on that. I got to make a lot of blizzards.
Yeah.
Ate a lot of food.
What was your favorite Dairy Queen treat to make?
Oh, to make or to eat?
Make.
Are they
both.
different answers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Because the one I ate is I did not make, because whenever we went on break, we could have a 15-minute break if it was like 5 hours or less, and then
Right.
a 30-minute lunch or meal time if
Uh-huh.
it was longer. And so if I had a 15-minute break, my go-to was 2 pieces of Texas toast and a thing of gravy, and that was always done by the grill. That I did the ice
yeah.
cream.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want them extra crispy. Like cook that bread, because sometimes it's just soft and buttery, which is good. But I want it like almost like really toasted.
Sure,
So
and
I had
some
it
bite.
done. Yeah, just carve me up. I need all the carbs. So yeah, a thing of gravy and 2 pieces of Texas toast, and I would just take that, and that was my go-to snack. So good.
That's
and
awesome. My go-to snack.
I mean, like if I had a 15-minute break, I'm not eating a meal.
No.
Cappuccino Heath Blizzard was that's what the thing I like to make. And then you can make it for yourself. So it's like 1 scoop and maybe a little.
Oh, some more fell in.
Oh yeah. And it comes in these tiny boxes, all the toppings like already crushed up whatever, from Butterfingers and Snickers. And so
Sure.
you take the box and you'd have to go dump, fill in the things, the holders that have it, and then take the box downstairs.
Right.
And then
Was it hard to make dip cones? I've got lots of Dairy Queen questions.
yeah, no.
I've
The
got
cone,
so many.
You very quickly get used to making a cone, so that's easy. And
right.
it depends on the type of ice cream, because it comes in a liquid bag. It's like sugar milk, is what it is, and then it goes to the
Sure.
machine and pumps out into soft serve.
Right.
And if it gets close to the end, it can get more icy, and then it can pop because it's just air coming in and explode. And you're just like. Anyway, so depending on if it's new, totally fine. If it's toward the end, it gets icy and hard. It becomes more like ice. So then when you dip it, it may slide off more, the coating, which is like oil based, I think, something. There's something in it. Anyway,
There's something in it.
but
true.
when you dip it in, because it's hot. The
Yeah.
coating is
Oh,
hot
okay.
to keep it melted. And so when you dip it in, sometimes the ice cream will get melted into that. And then you're always like stirring it, because
Stirring
sometimes
it
you'll
in.
dip it in and it'll start to clump off. So eventually you have to,
Sure.
like when it's kind of low to the end, you have to.
So there's a real art to the dip. Is
I
what
think
you're
so.
telling me.
You
Yeah.
have to do it and then hold it for a second
Yeah.
and then do it. And then it'll start to bleed in it. Like if you wait too long, it'll start to drip through. There'll be parts of it.
Yeah.
And then, but the first bite's always the best.
Mm.
You bite the tip off, and then after that it's so cold you don't really taste
Right.
it much. But
Yeah, one of my we're off topic, but I like to talk about Dairy Queen. You know, so,
it's great.
Yeah,
People like if you work
So-
there, you're not gonna like it anymore. I love all of it.
No,
I love all
sure.
of it. Come on,
Yeah.
smell
I have
like
a friend from high school. Same thing. Like worked there 5 years.
Right.
Ice cream.
He's gonna go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Chicken strip basket. Oh, that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
I
who
grew up on
cares
chicken
about
strip
that,
basket.
but
Yeah. It was with the gravy and the toast.
Yeah, the gravy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's white gravy.
I know what you're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about, but I don't.
That's not why he goes to
No,
Dairy Queen.
I think
no, I
Dairy
get
Queen. I don't think. Oh man, my go-to would not have been Texas toast and gravy.
for a
promise you
snack.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I also got ice cream too, but I just
Sure,
liked,
sure.
dipping that.
Yeah. I like the cherry dip cones.
Yeah.
The red dip cones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have those anymore.
I don't think so. We had butterscotch, cherry, and chocolate.
They
and
were
then
like outlawed or something.
now there's a blue one, a cotton candy, I think, or some sort of
What a
some
disgrace.
seasonal one. you can
Oh,
have.
I did
Embarrassing.
see that. Yeah.
Sometimes with crunches. Oh, we had a crunch one too. Where it was
Mhm.
just like Rice Krispie type things that you could.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I got that when I was
it
a
would
kid.
be
I remember
like
that.
a conveyor that went, and it just would come up and then fall over like these little cups, and you would just put it in, and it would
So
scoop
fancy.
it and then drop it over like a little waterfall. You just
Was this Dairy Queen always like it is now?
no,
Like
it's been
the-
renovated. Back in my day,
Was it a sit? You could come
you
inside
could sit in
though?
it. Yeah. But
Oh.
it used to be the full. For those who've been to the Lansing Dairy Queen, it was like the whole front was a counter. Now it's just like a half counter.
Yeah.
And then a giant wall
Yeah.
Mhm.
blocking off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never worked in the grill, so I never cooked a burger or fries or anything like that.
Right.
I was the face.
Mm-hmm.
I was up there greeting people and
Yeah. The Dairy Queen we went to as a kid in North Topeka was just a was just like a drive
walk
up,
up to
drive in
Yeah.
kind of thing, and it was just ice cream. There was no
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
just ice cream and
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a super tiny one up North Leavenworth where it's
Mhm.
you don't even drive. I don't think you drive.
I don't think
through
you
it.
can drive
I think
through
you just
that.
walk up to it.
Is that
It
right?
looks like a little shack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what this was like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never worked at Dairy Queen though.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first job was this a friend of ours in the church I grew up in owned a lawn maintenance company, and so I worked for for him mowing grass. I was probably 14. Drove my moped to meet him at the church.
You had a moped?
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
if I knew.
Nice.
I don't
Well,
know if
that's a story I can tell you sometime. So drove the moped
Okay.
to meet him, and then we went off to work and mowed yards and I good first job. Enjoyed that. Did that for several years. I think if I remember this right, I made $5 an hour. So how much did you make at the Dairy Queen?
I was just when I started, I want to say $5.15.
$5.15
maybe
was minimum
$5.25.
wage. Yeah.
right around there.
So I made $5 an hour, but I only got paid for when I actually mowed grass.
Well, yeah. I mean, I only got paid when I was there.
Yeah. But if like a customer wasn't there,
Uh-huh.
you got paid.
Oh,
You didn't get paid
yeah.
just for serving
I
ice
got you.
cream.
I got you.
Like I
you
didn't get
could
paid
show
for
up
the
and-
time
Yeah.
driving to
Oh,
or
I got you.
between places.
Uh-huh,
You know,
I got you, I
Yeah,
got you.
It
none of
wasn't
that.
like on the clock, but like per job.
Right,
kind
right,
of
per
thing.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for that $5 an hour.
Was there an incentive
good
to
job.
be like, take your time mowing there?
No, I didn't. I didn't think that through hard enough.
This
no.
yard took forever.
Yeah,
I know.
No.
We went over it twice. So
No.
yours was
I think if your job is mowing grass,
Uh-huh.
it's pretty much always, let's go ahead and get this done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and be
Yeah.
done with this. We'll go back.
Yeah, there's not much motivation to stick around
No.
and prolong
Just-
things. That,
yeah.
if you're like, we got nothing else to do. Because what are you really going to get? Like an extra $1 if it's
I don't
you
know.
stretch
Yeah,
it
right.
out over the course of a day. It's
Right,
like,
no,
why don't I just
that-
go home?
That never occurred to me.
Yeah.
I was always like, yeah.
So what year was that though for you?
What year?
Yeah, that you made $5 an hour.
Oh.
Mine was 1996.
Oh, good gravy.
Oh, okay.
Dairy Queen has good gravy.
Yeah.
It is. It's all come back now.
I was like 14, so 1988, 89.
Okay. And then
that sort of
you,
thing.
how much was yours? How much did you make at your lifeguarding?
I'm
Non-lifeguarding.
recalling starting at like $7.25.
Okay.
Man,
There you go.
bougie.
Big bucks.
I feel like it's still that. I don't even. I think.
I think minimum wage is $7.25.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So.
Not many places are still minimum wage.
Right.
Yeah.
And the federal minimum wage is still that, but
Right.
people are
Yeah.
needing to work.
Interesting. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good first jobs.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go. So
Yeah.
do you guys ever do food? Fast food?
Never.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Nope.
All right. Well, let's get going here. I was trying to think of something else. I was like, nah. We are looking at James chapter 5, verses 1 through 6. It's so short, I'm just going to read it so that the people listening can know what we're talking about. James says, starting in 5, verse 1, "Now listen, you rich people, weep and wail because of the misery that is coming on you. For your wealth has rotted, and moths have eaten your clothes. Your gold and silver are corroded. Their corrosion will testify against you and eat your flesh like fire. You have hoarded wealth in the last days. Look, the wages you failed to pay the workers who mowed your field are crying out against you. The cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord Almighty. You have lived on earth in luxury and self-indulgence. You have fattened yourselves in the days of slaughter. You have condemned and murdered the innocent one who is not opposing you." I left it. Who is not opposing you?
Yeah, I was like, was there more?
No, that was it. It was who is not opposing you, and that was from the NIV. But so that's what we're going over today. The first question we're looking at is the danger of misplaced treasure. Like, what is the dangers of when we have this treasure and we're like, the idea is like, is it wrong to save? Is it wrong to plan for the future? Is having money in general a bad thing? Is that what James is saying here, or is there more nuance to all of this? So, yeah, Craig, what do you have?
Well, during the sermon, at one point I wrote down, "Disordered loves lead to disordered desires, which can then lead to sin," and that's kind of my thought on this first question. And I started going through a couple of verses that came to mind. But here in James, thinking about placing your trust or hope, or just having displaced hope in things, like I kind of just summed it up. In kind of how he says it, like if you're placing your hope in riches, in things in this world, so those things are going to rot. He's very blunt about it. The physical, the temporary things will not last, and he even, in verse 3, talking about gold and silver, like things that are seemingly like precious and valuable, those things will corrode. And so he's just driving home the point, like the things that we could be constantly thinking about and putting our heart on and like just kind of consuming us a little bit, it's all a wash because they're all going to go away. And so, I just summed it up. Like, if you're going to place your hope in those things, you will quickly be disappointed. And so contrasting that, I thought about some verses that, like, I remember in college, my small group leader, we memorized part of 2 Corinthians 5, and it just starts off talking about where we are now. Earth is, Paul describes it as like a tent. It's temporary. We look forward to an eternal home, the new heavens and new earth. And so that's really like where we need to place our mind, having that eternal mindset and keeping our things on the kingdom. And then 1 Peter is another one that I've had memorized, and I love the description that he has talking about eternity. Imperishable, undefiled, and unfading. And so it's almost just like this contrast of how James described things that we could treasure up and have on earth. He says those things are going to rot away. And like, what else could be described as imperishable, undefiled, and unfading? It's like, well, there's nothing. And so we need to maybe redirect our mind or keep our mind on God and his kingdom. And then that's what just made me think of Colossians 3:2, keep your mind on things above. And I think we'll get to it more in the next question too, but it's like, is it wrong to save and invest and be wise with your money? Like, no, it's not wrong, but it's like, where is your heart in it? What is your desire for it? How are you using it? Is it consuming everything about you, or, holding it loosely because, as James says, like, it's not forever.
Yeah.
So be thinking about what is forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if the three of us kind of have similar answers here, but what's the danger of misplaced treasure? Now, what is it you said? Because I think it was in our book study when we read this, but the the loves that you said, the quote at the beginning.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I got it right
Yeah.
exactly, but disordered loves,
Disordered loves.
leads to disordered desires.
Right. And so it's not that these things are bad in and of themselves, but
Mm-hmm.
if we're placing them as like, basically like as an idol, like this is the thing that I care for the most. And so you could put, like right now we're talking about money, but you could say even good thing like family, right? That's your number one thing in this world. And that will eventually disappoint as well. There will be, brokenness or kids move away or whatever. It can't ultimately fulfill.
Well, I thought about our small group conversation when we were talking about some of those things, and someone said Excel sheets, and we were like,
we said, what is
What?
something that you love? Yeah, you had to kind of.
and I was like, you just talk about Excel sheets all the time?
I think the question was, what is something you could just talk about forever? Like
Yeah.
the thing you love the most.
And he was like, yeah, I really had to step back.
Yeah.
And it really was consuming.
He just loved it. Yeah. And we're like, okay. And then, well, there's that too. But yeah, what's the danger of misplaced treasure? And so in this one specifically, we're talking about treasure as in money, which was, I think, the most logical connection there. And I think all of us have that struggle. And you already said some of this stuff. Like number one, I think the big picture is it just won't fulfill you. For as great as it feels right now, I don't know why I keep missaying that. Like it everything that we can get with money is only temporary, and we know that because like you take a look at your iPhone, and like whenever there's going to be a new one coming out in another year, and you're like, well, now you want that one, or a car, or a house, or whatever. Everything that money can get us will fade, and we see that in real time with the stuff we have. But then you take a step back, and like ultimately, like throughout our life, eventually. We have heaven to look forward to, and if all your trust is put in that, that money is not going to be worth anything. It's going to fail you. Some of the imagery where it talks about this won't last. It talks about corrosion and it's rotted and where moths eat, and this imagery of this thing is temporary. It won't last. It won't fulfill you, and also. The danger of putting too much trust in it is like it's a spiritual blindness to think I can serve God but have all my trust in this, and it's blinding you from trusting in God and following Him in even giving it away because you're holding on to it too tightly. And so it could when we hold on to it too much and love it too much, it could ultimately turn us away from God. In Colossians 3, it says, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. So you can mention anything with earthly, but specifically here with money, which it won't fulfill you. It brings spiritual blindness, which eventually to the end, it just brings judgment then.
Right.
We're all going to die. And if my life has been devoted to money or the things and acquiring it and having the best life for myself with stuff, and I put my trust in that and not God, that will let me down for eternity. So you mentioned the rich man and Lazarus on Sunday, and that was a great example of what that can look like, or in that illustration of how much this will not fulfill you. And so, there's a lot of dangers with it, a lot of good stuff too, but it's really, we have to be careful when it comes to money, because it can very quickly go from being something that's beneficial to something that's dangerous.
Yeah, the dangers are right in the passage, right? I mean, they go all the way from, look, if you misplace love, if money's the most important thing in your life, then that's going to make you really selfish, right? And if you're really selfish, then that puts you in danger of being like the rich people in this passage and abusing and manipulating and oppressing other people. So you're a selfish jerk at that point, right? Those are dangerous things. But ultimately, Zach, you said it, the ultimate danger here is hell. Is that judgment and eternal separation from God. And when our heart is in the wrong place, then with anything, that's the ultimate danger, and that's what the passage speaks of here. And I just think it's this misplaced treasure is really dangerous because it's so easy for it. We all, I think you phrased it, Zach, at one point, is it okay to have money? Well,
Hope so.
y-
I mean, I want.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I have
yeah,
it.
yeah. Whether it's okay or not, it's a fact of life. In order to survive in the world, we have to be able to buy and trade and barter, whatever that looks like, whatever the system is, and so we're going to have to utilize that tool in one way or another. And God, all through Scripture, it's God blesses His people, and there are examples of folks that He blessed financially and monetarily, and they were rich, and that was a sign that they were that God had taken care of them or whatever. But so it's not being wealthy that is the sin. It's that it's just so dangerous for all of us to fall into this place with money. And I heard a preacher this last week say, he was talking about money and kind of this idea, and he started his message by asking, do you think money will buy happiness? And everybody's sitting in church, right? And so their answer is, well, no, and he kind of said that. And then he asked, would you like to try? Right? And if you're just sitting around, we'd like to try. I mean, we'd give that a shot, see if money can't buy a little happiness. And Sherry likes to listen to this country song, and I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it's pretty much poses that same question. Will money buy happiness or love or whatever? And the songwriter answers, well, no, but it'll buy a boat, right? It'll buy, and so we all live in that tension, right? No, of course money won't buy happiness ultimately. I just saw on the news, and I don't want to go into details because I'll mess up the particulars, but this a football player, a professional athlete who just took his own life. And I asked my son Clayton, did you see about this guy? And he said, yeah. He just thought, what? The guy had just scored a touchdown the day before, right? He succeeded in his job and career, and he cashed that NFL game check. Even if it's a big game check, no matter who you are in the NFL. And so he has all this success. Things seem to be going well. Money doesn't buy happiness. We all know that, but we live in that tension of, but we'd maybe like to try a little. We'd like to see buy that boat or whatever the country song talks about. And so we live in that tension, and it's just so easy to kind of go over too far with it, and it starts to drive us. And when it starts to drive us, that's real danger.
Yeah. Well, and that brings us to the second question, number 8 in the small group questions, because so we said, money itself is not bad, but there's a dangerous line there. And so it says, if basically the question is, how can you achieve a balance in your life of saving for the future and being generous with those around you? So when do you, I say hoard, that makes it sound bad, right? But like, when do you hold on to money, and when does that too much, and versus to give it away? And we're called to just give it all away and not save any. Yeah. And so different Christians, I think, will say different things. But is there a healthy way, a biblical way that honors Jesus, that takes care of yourself and your family, but also is generous? And maybe how do you think about that, and how do you draw that line?
Yeah, because it's true. Like in the Bible, it talks about, first of all, what we said, like money can't be your God, so you can't go there with it. But it's like, it says things about being wise and taking care of your family, and at times that means saving, but then there's other times where you need to be generous with the things you have. And one of the things that came to mind, and it's like it's a budgeting tool. It's from Dave Ramsey, and it just made me think of the Every Dollar budgeting tool that they have, because the whole idea of it's called Every Dollar because it's like every dollar that you have has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought of that because you look at your income or even just the resources and tools you may have, and you really have to view those things as like, okay, this can take care of my family. It can also help someone else be used for the kingdom, and live with it kind of open-handed. But really thinking about what you have in front of you and portioning it like, this is for my family and for the needs that we have, and saving and whatever that may be. Here's a portion where we want to be generous. So that's tithing, extra giving, depending on the season or a need that you might have. And really that's how I think about a question like this. You can't just like open the Bible and get the percentages and the numbers and how you're supposed to use that. So it takes time in the Word and also in prayer just to be wise with it and make good choices. And like we said, you got to take care of what you need to take care of. But it also is, it's a process to sit down and budget and have those conversations and figure out what exactly you're going to do with the things you've been given.
Right.
Yeah. Whenever I think about money and sort of what should our approach be, I think one of the biggest things is just like, once again, taking a step back in the big picture and just realizing none of this is mine. So like the very beginning, whenever I start, even if I'm going to save some, just realizing this is not my money, like this is God. So like in Psalm 24, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. So I'm just even a steward of the money I have that is eventually going to move on to other things, spend it, and that goes on to someone else and someone else. And so realizing that no matter what, I am, kind of like you said with the budgeting app, right? I am just here to do the best I can with it for helping my family and also other people. And so I think you have to have that mindset of like, this is God's already. And so what am I going to do with this that honors him? Because it feels like I have my money and to give 10%, I have to give it up from my money. And it's like, it's not yours. And so having that big picture, just to manage it wisely. And then I think just the big picture is not to approach it with like fear or greed, where you're hoarding things because of doomsday stuff or whatever else, and you're not wanting to be greedy and selfish. One of the verses I think about, and this was also from our small group, but from this verse in Proverbs 30, verse 8, where he says, "Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread." So he's not like, I need to give everything away and be poor. And he's like, I don't want to be poor. He's like, I don't want to be poor, but I also don't want to be rich. And he said, and the reason he says, otherwise I may have too much and disown you, or I may become too poor and steal and dishonor you. And so I thought that was so what does that mean for everyone? What's that balance? I don't know. But taking what saving what you need and what is like responsible for you and your family, but then also planning on being generous instead of like, maybe I'll give a little bit. You had mentioned like percentages, like we don't have percentages. Well, like I know there's at least 10%, right? Like right off the bat, like tithing 10% to the church. And I tell our students before, like, if you think this is hard, just know this is bare minimum. This is like saying like, you're supposed to go to church every week. And they're like, every week? And I'm like, guys, that's bare minimum. Like that's what we're called to do when we worship God every week. We meet together consistently. We tithe consistently. We pray. We serve. This is all the base level. And then finding, like you said, those opportunities to give outside of that. And then lastly, I thought of like your wealth is a blessing to others, and so that's what we should see it as. And in 2 Corinthians 6, it talks about how God loves a cheerful giver, and so we are called to use what we have to give to others. And I even think of, it's weird how many times I come back to this illustration, but the parable of, at least the talents, where he gives, the master goes away, he gives one servant 5 talents, one 2, and the other 1. And then when he came back, the one who had a lot, the 5 talents, doubled it. And the one who had, just 2 doubled it. And the one who didn't even spend it, just buried it and kept it the same. And so there are some people in the world who have 5 talents, who are 5 talent people. They are blessed with money and with, status or whatever. They're good at sports and whatever the case is. If you have a lot, then you're obviously going to be giving more than the person who has just a little, but in either case, we're both giving proportional to what we can do, and so that's why it's not an easy, like everyone has to do the same thing. It's like your situation may be different than mine, but with however I've been blessed, that's how much I should be blessing others, if that makes sense.
Right.
But
that parable, the one who got in trouble was who?
The one who had one.
And buried it.
And
right?
buried it. Yeah,
Didn't
even spend it.
Didn't do
just
anything.
did zero things with it. Right.
Right. So it really is a heart issue.
Yeah.
It's the attitude that matters. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't an expectation of like you need to be like the 5-talent person and bring like just do something with what you got. If you got a little, then and all you can do is a little. Perfect.
The widow's mite, right?
Yeah,
Jesus
widows. Yes.
Saw the
and so
widow give a penny, and
I tell the students I feel like I'm a 2-talent person. I got some things going for me, and talents and abilities and stuff, but yeah. So I do with what I can. What about you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we're all talking around the same thing and great answers. I mean, I just think about, think about Jesus, and people will often say, well, Jesus himself said, look, the Son of Man doesn't have anywhere to lay his head, right? And so Jesus walked through this world with very little of monetary value. Yeah. That was not what he was about. And yet, as he draws a crowd and starts to disciple these folks, he put somebody in charge of the money. Now maybe this is a warning because it was Judas. Didn't end well, right? But somebody had to be responsible for the money, which means that they had some money. That they were making it through life with the same, requiring the same tools and all of that. Jesus on the cross, he's dying without anything. They've even gambled for his clothing, right? Probably all the possessions he had in the world, the soldiers gambled for. And as he dies on the cross, though, what does he do? He looks at his disciple John and says, you take care of my mother. And so the idea of planning or saving to care for our families and all of those things, well, even Jesus did that to one extent or another. And so that's not what we're talking about as the issue here. And so I think just having that attitude and looking for just trying to share well with those around us is and you guys have said it, the more you have, the more you can share and all those things, so that's a good thing, and just living with that open hand.
Yep. Well, it was really good stuff. So we are we'll still be in James for, is it 2 more or 1 more?
2 more.
2 more weeks. Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to figure out how many more sections there were. So we're going to be finishing up James in a few weeks, and so we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Yeah.